Hello, this is Brenda Green, and I'd like to welcome you to Living in the Go. Today, I want to talk to you about bankruptcy. It's a scary process sometimes for people. They think that they failed if they have to file a bankruptcy, because people truly are, for the most part, pretty decent, and they want to pay their debt back. But sometimes things happen. So let's talk about bankruptcy and how you can use it, how it works for you. So it's actually something that was put in place by our government to ensure that when people are really crippled with a lot of debt and they can't see how to make their way out, that this is in place for them to find a way to go forward, because it's not the end of life. It's just a means to getting to the next step. So there are different types of bankruptcy. You've probably all heard about Chapter 11 or Chapter 7. So I'm going to break it down for you. So a Chapter 7 is a liquidation. It means that all the debt you have will be eliminated. So if you got a house, you got to sell it because it might be in foreclosure. You got a car, you got to get rid of it. Everything is gone and you start from scratch, from zero. Your credit score is pretty low, pretty ruined at that point, but you can build from there and start over again. You can get insured credit cards where you put a little bit of money on it and you can start to rebuild credit. You can pay for cash with things. If you need a car, use cash. So it doesn't end for you, but it eliminates all of that crippling debt that you had. Now there is a Chapter 11, and a Chapter 11 is for businesses. A lot of times they don't necessarily want to end the business, but they have so much debt that they can't see a way forward. So a Chapter 11 allows them to reorganize the debt in their company. You heard our ex-president Trump had 4 bankruptcies with his businesses. Well, that's allowable because you reorganize to be able to move forward, and hopefully you can put your company back on their feet and get going. Another bankruptcy that you probably haven't heard about is a Chapter 12. And in a Chapter 12, that's for farmers and for fishermen, believe it or not. It's a special bankruptcy just for them. The only difference is that they can't put their homes into that bankruptcy, but if they have a farm, their business, a fisherman business, then they could use that for bankruptcy. The next one is a Chapter 13, and a Chapter 13 is an individual. In other words, you want to file bankruptcy, the debt is crippling, you don't know what to do, and the courts allow you to reorganize your debt, actually. They contact the creditors, and you still pay your debt back, but you pay a smaller amount. So if you owed 50, they may reduce it to 20. And you have 3 to 5 years to pay that debt back. The creditors are not allowed to call you and harass you because they make that deal with the courts also. So it's a way for you to feel a little bit better about it. You do pay your debt, you just don't pay back as much. And there's another bankruptcy that I heard about recently, which was the Chapter 15. And that's when you have debt in different countries. So the courts in the different countries are able to work together to help you do a bankruptcy. So it's a lot of information out there if you want to know about bankruptcies. The one question I get over and over again is student loan debt. Can it be discharged in a bankruptcy? Well, the answer used to be no, because they're federal loans, private loans, and they wouldn't allow you. But the reality is you really can have that debt eliminated as well. But there's a process to do it. It's not as easy as a 1, 2, 3. You can't just say, I wanted to go in there. There's adversary procedures in order to get your debt eliminated. So there are a couple of things. If you can't maintain your minimal standard of living, if you're crippled with so much debt and that student loan debt is a part of it, you can't see your way forward. So that's one consideration. The other is if you've truly tried to make an effort to pay that student loan debt, but it's just not happening, then that's another consideration. And if you have the inability to maintain a lifestyle, and I'm not talking about living lavishly, but if you're about to be put out on the streets because that debt for student loan is so crippling, then that's a factor that can be considered. So those things taken into consideration, your lawyer could work through that, could possibly be added to your bankruptcy to get rid of it. However, if you just don't meet this criteria, then you will still have to pay your student loan back. So hopefully that helps you, gives you a little bit more information. And if it's something you really want to think about, then do the research. Get a good attorney to help you go through that process. Try to pay as little bit as possible in terms of fees. There are attorneys who will help you for a minimal amount. So think about that as well. So hope that helps. Thanks and have a great day.